Welcome back. The Senate Armed Services Committee rejected a proposal from Senator Kirsten Gillibrand to take sexual assault prosecutions outside of the chain of command, siding with the brass. The decision divided the women senators who've been pushing for reform. Committee member Claire McCaskill sided with Levin and did win her own proposal to prevent commanders from overruling jury verdicts, which has been a major problem. Senator McCaskill joins me now. Senator, direct question is, why did you decide that not only your proposal, but the Levin approach and the approach of the military was better on chain of command, and reject Senator Gillibrand's proposal to take it away from the chain of command?
Well, I was focused on two things: effective prosecutions and protecting victims from retaliation. And as somebody who's handled hundreds of these types of cases in the courtroom, I honestly believe that when you absolve the commander of any responsibility, you heighten the likelihood of retaliation against that victim when she rejoins her unit. So this is a way where if the commander disagrees with the lawyers, which was Kirsten's proposal, that it would be just the lawyers that would decide. If the commander disagrees, it goes straight up to the civilian secretary of the branch. So we are taking it out of the uniforms and we're putting it in the civilian side, but we're continuing to force that commander an accountability for retaliation. Further, our proposal went even further than Kirsten's in terms of creating a crime of retaliation. So now, if anyone is retaliated against for coming forward with reporting this horrific crime, whoever retaliates against them is guilty of a crime under the UCMJ.
But one of the problems is that the very people who were in charge of these programs themselves, several of them got in trouble. Doesn't that mean that there won't be trust, that people, that women and men, because you've pointed out that this does affect both genders, obviously, that people will still be afraid to report these crimes?
I think we have to face one reality. No one who has been victimized in this way wants to talk about it. It doesn't matter where they work or who they are. Coming forward is difficult. It is heightened by the fear of the impact it would have on your career if you are a member of the military. That's why it's important we put all the other protections in these historic and very aggressive reforms, making sure the victims have more counseling, more legal support, making sure that they have the ability to move out of the unit, or they can force the perpetrator to move out of the unit, making sure that inappropriate evidence is never considered by a commander, either how good the soldier was or their prior sexual conduct. We took hours and hours visiting with military prosecutors and victims, and I think the package we came up with is going to be the best possible solution to protecting these victims, encouraging them to come forward, but also holding these commanders accountable. And by the way, we're not going away, Andrea. We're going to watch this. We're not going to let this culture go back to what it was. We're going to keep pressing the envelope and making sure that these crimes have their day in court and that these predators are put in prison.
Senator, the argument from the brass has been that you can't destroy the chain of command, that unit cohesion and everything depends in the military on chain of command. But doesn't rape and rampant sexual abuse do more to destroy the chain of command and military cohesion than anything else that could involve these reforms?
I don't pay much attention to the command when it is all about you cannot disrupt our command. More importantly, I paid attention to the reality of what is going to happen to that victim. If a victim comes back to a unit when a bunch of outside lawyers have said to file the case, the chances of retaliation against her go dramatically up. On the other hand, if she comes back into that unit when the commander has signed off on the case going forward, that gives her a level of protection that she would never have with a bunch of outsiders making that call.
Would you fight this on the floor when Senator Gillibrand is going to try to make another run at it before final passage?
You know, Kirsten and I talked again today. We are absolutely focused on the same result, and we agree. Our passion and our focus is identical. I will never allow this to be characterized as a fight between us. I have an honest disagreement with her about the best way to protect victims, and I will defend that through the process. And by the way, it is a chance for historic, aggressive, bipartisan, broad consensus, and that's the best way to bring the military to heel on this subject, is to make sure this doesn't become a partisan or a left-right argument.
Senator McCaskill, I know it's a busy day. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks for giving us the clarification.